Hi, welcome back to my channel. And child, I never thought I would be doing a video related to Basketball Wives because when I tell you I do not watch that show, I swore that show off years ago. Um, but I just feel like I had something to say. So I've been seeing all the clips. I'm sure you guys have been seeing them as well with Jackie and her daughter Chantel. And y'all probably gonna jump on my head, but I'm willing to take that risk. I never, ever, ever, ever make videos on shows that I don't watch. Okay. I used to watch Basketball Wives religiously. Okay, me and my late mother, we watched it. Me and my uncle, we used to watch it. He was watching it because I was watching it. Okay, like that used to be one of my shows. But after the season with Ocho Cinco wanted me, I stopped watching. Like I stopped watching. I won't say in the middle of the season, but towards the end of the season, I stopped watching. Like them last couple of episodes, I didn't watch. I didn't watch the reunion. I was disgusted. It's so crazy to me how, we all know when someone's being racist, but when people are being colorist, we can never, like, our eyes don't work then. Our perception just doesn't pick that up. Like, we just become stupid when it comes to colorism. And I just was like, I refuse. I'm not watching it. You guys can have that show. And that's pretty much how it's been for me. When I say I was so annoyed and so like the show is making me angry, and it's like when the show starts to make you angry, it's time to stop watching the show. And so that's what it was for me. And I promised, I said I would never watch the show again, but I cannot escape these clips that keep popping up. Jackie's daughter joining the cast is so weird to me. It's just weird. It's weird. I'm pretty much referring to the clip where I don't know where they were. They were somewhere. And Chantel got upset with her mom because her mom wasn't defending her. And everything just blew up. I'm not really here to speak on that because, like I said, I haven't been watching the show. I've only seen the clips that keep popping up everywhere, and I just cannot escape them. I've seen most people really be on Jackie's side. People that they acknowledge, like, yeah, Jackie is a nutcase. She crazy as hell, but her daughter is just as crazy, and her daughter shouldn't even be on the show. And honestly, I share those same sentiments. I don't know why Chantel is on the show. Like, I feel like they tried to soft launch her a couple of times when I was watching the show, and now she's here as, I guess, a full-time basketball wife. I don't know. I don't know what's really going on with Chantel, but I don't like it. Now, in my opinion, I feel like Jackie Christie is the reason the show is still thriving. Like, it probably should have gone off the air years ago. We know the Miami show died a long time ago, right? After the incident with Ocho Cinco and Evelyn, she decided not to come back to the show, and that was it for the Miami show. The LA show was thriving because, in my opinion, Jackie. Yeah, Malaysia was there, Drea was there. They all left, and Jackie, to me, held it down. I don't know what's been happening in the recent season, so please don't ask me nothing about that because I don't know nothing about that. I just know what I've been seeing in these clips. And what I've been seeing in these clips is Jackie is still that girl. And it seems to me that Shawnee and Evelyn don't like that. I don't think that Shawnee is really loved by the audience, and Evelyn has her supporters, but everybody knows Jackie is that girl. And it seems like, to me, Chantel coming on the show was a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bullshit. I really just don't understand why she is there. The last time that I remember watching and Chantel was on the show, it seemed like Chantel was trying to kiss up to the other women, and it looks like nothing has changed. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm here, but I'm nothing like my mom. Don't judge me based on how, my mom acts. Like, it seemed like she wants them to like her. She wants to come on here. You want the opportunity to come on the show. Like, let's keep it real. They would not have casted you if you were not Jackie Christie's daughter. Okay, there's a lot of NBA players in the world, and a lot of them have daughters. They chose you because of Jackie Marie Christie, because Jackie is such a staple on the show. This is Jackie's show. Okay, let's just keep it real. Let's cut the crap. A lot of people still tune in to see Jackie Marie Christie. Let's keep it real. And that is the reason why you were even offered, like you were even considered, is because of Jackie Marie Christie. Doug Christie is cool and everything, but he's not the star of the show. Jackie is. And that is the reason why they brought you on the show. I understand, I had a very close relationship with my mother. Okay, that was my girl. She was not perfect. I am not perfect, but I love my mom. And I'll be whooping ass on that show if anybody tried my mama. You know what I mean? I understand that is not everybody's relationship with their mother. So I do want to say that. I get it that Jackie has, we about to get into Jackie too. I understand that everyone doesn't have that same relationship with their mother. It's something that I've been learning in the last couple of years, is that everyone's mother-daughter relationship is not the same. But why would you join the show if you have such issues with your mom? Like, why would you join the show? Everyone isn't going to see it your way. Why even put yourself in that position? If you want to work on your relationship with your mother, then do that. You don't have to come on this show to do it. But you came on this show thinking that you were going to come on here, everybody's going to side with you. You wanted to take your mama down. That's what you wanted to do, girl. And it's not going down so easily for you. You look a mess. You look a hot mess. You really, really do. Now, this is the thing. I feel in a lot of relationships or parent-child dynamics, usually parents try to right the wrongs. When they have kids, they try to do for their kids what their parents didn't do for them. They try to be a better parent than what their parents were to them. Now, if you had a perfect mother-daughter relationship and your grandma was perfect and your great-grandma and everybody was perfect and y'all have no family trauma, I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about the normal people who do have issues, okay? Usually, the parent does everything that they can to right the wrongs, to fix the situation, to give to their children what they never had, right? And I feel like Jackie Christie is no different. We all remember the earlier seasons of Basketball Wives LA, when Laura brought Takari on the show, and Takari was saying how she had issues with her mom. We all saw that episode, right? We all heard about it if we didn't watch it. And Takari had a lot of gripes for her mom. And she felt like, she wasn't pretty enough for her mom. She was too dark-skinned. I know she had a speech impediment or so. And she was, larger. She had a little weight issue. And her mom constantly bump heads, and she felt like her mom didn't like her. She got all her love from her grandmother, and she had problems with her mama. And I understand that, that's hurtful for your mom to reject you, or it's hurtful for you to feel that your mother didn't love you, or she didn't like you, or she didn't think the world of you. I got a lot of my self-esteem from my mom. My mom thought I was the most beautiful child in the world. And if she wasn't who she was to me, I probably would be different. So I do feel for Takari in that sense. And her coming on the show to say how she felt. The first time I felt as though I could sympathize with her. I believe that took place season 2. But if you remember season 1, they showed Chantel a little bit. And Jackie was just, so enamored with her daughter. Oh my God, my baby. She's so pretty. And I don't want to think about her out there with boys. And she was so, the super loving, protective mommy dearest. And then for us to find out the very next season that her eldest daughter had a completely different situation or a different experience with her mom. It was like, wait, what's going on here, right? But if you guys remember years later, when Takari's child had an incident at the daycare, I think he was burned by a bottle warmer or something. Something happened. It was some type of tragedy happened at the daycare. He was burned. And Takari came forth and said that she had no help from her parents. Nobody helped her financially, and she was going through it. And a lot of people had to, I think they set up a GoFundMe. Evelyn donated to the GoFundMe and Matt Barnes donated to the GoFundMe. And everybody was dragging Jackie. They was like, oh, Jackie, you're trash. Like, why wouldn't you be there for your grandson and your daughter? And all her, everything started to come out. It was a really terrible look for Jackie. The following season, Evelyn made her debut. And it started to make sense. Like, oh, okay, this is the reason why she made this huge donation to Takari, because she knew she was coming back to the show and she needed something to come back. She needed a bang, okay? She needed something. She needed a storyline. And she swore up and down that she didn't need a storyline, but her whole storyline was Jackie is a bad mom. Takari was writing a book around that time. She came to the set with the manuscript, and she was doing the most. Like, she was, for someone who didn't need Jackie to be her storyline, Jackie sure was her storyline. And I think that a lot of things kind of got swept under the rug because it was just getting out of hand. So they had to kind of wrap that up. They had so many people that they had to cut from the cast because it was getting out of control. And, you know, they got to save the show the best way that they can. But during that season, a lot of nuggets were dropped that I don't think we paid attention to. I didn't have a channel back then. My life was completely different back then. I will say that. So I'm going to talk about it now. I got a channel now. Let's talk about it. So I saw in a clip where Chantel was saying how she doesn't understand why Jackie is the way that she is, how she became this person that she is. And it took me back to the season where Evelyn came back and was dragging Jackie and had the book and was showing people on the set the book. They were talking a lot about, basically, Takari was saying how, you know, she was overweight and her mom used to have her on the treadmill. I think at some point, Chantel also came on the show and confirmed that Jackie would tell her daughter, be on the treadmill, and she would make Chantel watch Takari. Say, you watch her and make sure she doesn't get off of here. And, you know, the rest of them were allowed to have snacks and sweets, and Takari was not allowed to have snacks or sweets. She would make them drink apple cider vinegar or whatever, and she was just really on Takari about her weight. And Chantel, she's the light-skinned daughter and she's slim. She was Jackie tried to give her a singing career or a rap career or something, put her in movies and TV shows. Like, she was the daughter that Jackie liked and Takari was not. But we found out at some points that Jackie was chasing Doug Christie all over America while he was playing ball. And oftentimes Jackie left her kids with her mother. She had them in private school, but she was not the everyday mom, okay? She wasn't picking them up from, you know, the carpool line or whatever. The grandma was the baby. The grandma was taking care of the kids in Seattle while Jackie was running behind Doug. Okay, that's what we learned. Now, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you if it's true or not, but that's what was said. The story is confusing. It is, because one minute y'all say that your grandma took care of y'all and y'all lived somewhere else with your grandma and your mama was chasing your daddy everywhere. But then on the same hand, y'all say she was abusive to y'all, or more so Takari, because she wanted Takari to be skinny and pretty like Chantel. I mean, I guess both things could be true. You know, maybe there was off seasons when she was home and the kids was with her during the summer breaks. I don't know. But we really never sat down to really understand the story. We just got bits and pieces, right? And like I said, through these bits and pieces, I caught some things that maybe everyone else didn't catch. I don't know. Now, we also learned at some point, I can't tell y'all what season. I just really can't. We learned at some point that Jackie was in foster care for some reason. And she spoke about how she was starved and the foster parents will tell her to eat her fingernails. I'm not quite sure why Jackie was in foster care, but if you even had to spend a week in foster care, that tells me you have some type of trauma. That tells me that Jackie's childhood wasn't so great. That doesn't absolve her of everything that she did wrong as a mother. But for Chantel to say, I don't know what happened to you to make you this way, I think that is a little fake. You know that your mom has gone through some things. And as a child, I know that children can be very ungrateful, okay? They didn't ask to be here, so it is what it is. But for her to say that, for me to remember her mom saying she was in foster care, I know Chantel know her mama was in foster care. The lady was on TV saying that people told her, if you didn't eat enough, eat your fingernails. If I remember that, I know she knows it, is all I'm saying. And I'm not judging her. I'm just saying what I observed. It looks like to me that Jackie's parents weren't the best parents either, because how you end up in foster care? I'm not trying to shade her mama. May that lady's soul rest in peace. I'm just saying she didn't have everything that she needed. I think, though, so many people have said that Jackie and her daughter are the same person. I don't think so. I think that maybe Jackie has also experienced a lot of trauma in her life, but rather than get on TV and speak ill of her mother or her parents in any way, she chose to deal with it off camera and honor her only in the public and not speak badly about either of her parents. Well, maybe she did, and I'm not, maybe I missed some of that. But from what I remember, that first season, Jackie's mother was dying, and I don't ever recall her saying anything bad about her mom. But if Jackie spent time in foster care, clearly there's a story there. Clearly something happened there. Now, while Takari and Chantel only have good things to say about their grandmother, I do remember there was a part in the book. Now, I didn't read the book. I'm just recalling what was said on the show. There was a part in the book where Takari was airing her mom out, saying that Jackie and her sisters used to go in the mall and steal. And while they were in the mall stealing, the grandma was babysitting them in the car parking lot while Jackie was in the mall stealing. I guess they ain't had the money. They was doing what they had to do to survive. And that is very telling. Now, I don't think Takari meant to make her grandma look bad, but you kind of made your grandma look bad, because why is she enabling her daughters to be in the store stealing while she's babysitting you and your cousin in the car? That don't sound very, that don't sound too right. Evidently, Jackie Marie Christie has a story to tell. She's obviously experienced quite a bit of trauma. There's a reason she is the way that she is. There's a reason why she acts the way that she acts. I feel as though Jackie's obsession with her husband, the way that she clings to him, all has something to do with the trauma that she experienced. That lady was married 3 times before she was how old? She has definitely gone through some things. So for them to be so callous to say we don't know what she went through we don't know what she went through for her to behave the way that she does, it's like, come on now. Y'all be serious. That lady literally is obsessed with her husband. She gets married every year, every single year. And I'm not judging them. If that works for them, congratulations. Okay, kudos to y'all. Do what y'all have to do to make each other happy. But I also feel like maybe she never felt happiness, true happiness, until she met her husband. And that's the reason why she will cling to him for dear life. She ain't letting that go. She ain't letting nobody, get in between she and her husband. And I mean, I can't fault that lady for that. Like, what you want her to do? She loves that man. It's sad and it's unfortunate that, okay, everything was about her and her man. She left the kids with the mama to chase her husband around. But if you don't see that there is trauma there, you don't want to see it. You don't want to have an understanding for her. And I mean, I guess that's fair. It's everybody got to do what makes, them feel good about themselves. Everybody got to do what's best for them. There's a reason that lady clings to her husband the way that she does. For her, they say Jackie Christie used to be in a rental car, driving behind the NBA tour bus, making sure her husband wasn't doing nothing. They said she used to have like the little walkie-talkie. He'd be on there. She needed to hear everything at all times, what was going on. She made sure she loved that man. And normally, I'm not even going to lie, normally I would judge and be like, you need to have that same type of passion for your kids. But the crazy thing is, I hate to say this, but she's still with her man. Them kids done left her. Them kids sitting up there talking about her like she ain't shit. Her husband, he probably annoyed with her. He probably get angry with her. But he ain't on TV talking about she ain't shit. Now, is he? No, he's not. So, I kind of understand why she is in love with her husband. It appears that he's the first person to really just love her for who she is. Like, despite all her antics, her craziness, he loves that woman. And it doesn't matter what she does, he loves her. And I mean, if you ever felt that love, you gonna hold on to it too. Yeah, I know y'all gonna drag me for making excuses for Jackie, but she clearly has unhealed trauma. And I really feel like the best thing that ever happened to her, in her mind, is her husband. Unfortunately, I do think that she might love her other kids differently than she loves Takari because she loves their father. I don't know the backstory between Jackie and Takari's father, but I did see where Takari was taunting her mom on social media years ago, saying that her father was out of prison and he wanted to talk to Jackie. I can't interpret what Takari meant by it, but it very much gave that Jackie was scared of Takari's father and she was threatening her, like, yeah, he wants your number. Should I give it to him? Like, she was taunting her mom on social media. And that made me kind of feel away. Like, there's more to this that we're not discussing. I know everybody wants to just slap a label on it and say, oh, Jackie is colorist, and that's the reason why she doesn't like her dark-skinned daughter. But I don't think that's entirely it. I think it plays a part. I do. I think that that's some of it, but I don't think that's the bulk of it. I definitely think that, if Jackie was going around boosting, stealing from the malls to feed her family, she was doing all types of stuff, getting arrested, was married 3 times. Clearly she has some stuff going on with her. Okay. And her getting pregnant by this man that she's afraid of that ended up in prison for a really, really long time. Yeah, I don't know that we want to go that far with it. I think that that's the reason why the Basketball Wives producers, execs, I think they wrapped that story up real quick because, yeah, they knew it was about to get ugly. It's giving very much Marjorie Harvey, for me, with her past. If you know, you know, because we ain't getting into that. But I'm just saying, it's giving very much that. That's all I can say. I feel as though Jackie was afraid of Takari's father. And if he was in prison for many, many years, shoot, y'all do the math. Now, as for the colorism, since I did touch on it, let me just go ahead and give my 2 cents on that. So when we speak on colorism, right, let's give a little bit of history. Everybody loves to credit OG for the colorism conversation surrounding Basketball Wives, and I think that is bogus because if you've been watching from the very beginning, when they had the show on Miami, then you would know that is not the truth. One of the things that, when that show first came out, it was highly criticized. A lot of people didn't like the show because they just felt like these are women that are piggybacking off of these NBA players. Who are they? We don't want to hear what they got to say. Remember? There was a lot of controversy around this show. The next thing that they talked about was colorism. They may not have said the word colorism, but it was addressed. There was a lot of complaints that all the women on the cast were light-skinned. The only brown people that they had on the show was Jennifer and Royce. Okay? And Jennifer walked around there with them gray contacts telling everybody she had a white grandparent, if y'all remember. There was colorism then. And if you remember, later on, they ended up adding Kenya Bell. They added Mika Claxton. And there was a whole colorism conversation with that between she and Tammy. Don't act like y'all forgot. I say this to say there's colorism all over, right? With every ethnic group, there is colorism. But with how it is in mainstream society, people love to act like it doesn't exist. And it does. I'm sorry, but I feel like Jackie knows what it is. Everybody knows what it is. Jackie already knows that Takari has strikes against her because her skin was darker than hers. She already knew. I'm pretty sure Jackie and her mom and her family being a certain complexion, when she brought home a darker complected child, I'm sure there were comments. I'm sure people made little remarks. Oh, she brown. Oh, she don't look like you, Jackie. Or she's this. I am certain that many of people made comments about Jackie's daughter to her when she was growing up. Okay. Oh, she's a lot darker than you. Oh, she's brown. Like, I know how we are. Like, come on. I am a darker skinned girl that I've experienced it. So I know. We all know what it is. If you're a brown girl or you're a dark skinned girl, you already know how it goes. You know, we've all experienced it. And maybe we didn't always put a word to it. We didn't always attach a word to it, but we know what it is, okay? Jackie knew that her daughter already had strikes against her because, number one, you are a black child in America, and then you are a darker complexion. Your mom is a lighter complexion. Your mom's ticket out of poverty was marrying an NBA star. NBA stars usually have a type that they are attracted to, that they go after, that they marry, that they wife up. And they look like the Evelyns and the Susies and the Shawnees and the Glorias. It's not a lot of Royces walking around there. It's not a lot of Jennifers walking around there. It's way more Susies, Shawnees, Evelyns, and Glorias and Lauras. Okay? So she already knew her daughter had a strike against her because she was a darker complexion woman. Right? And then on top of that, she is heavy. She's a heavy set girl. So her obsession with wanting her daughter to be slim, like her sister, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. A mother who is healed from her trauma would not have put her daughter through that. But someone who has experienced, a great deal of trauma and poverty, I can see why she treated her daughter the way that she did. I think that she wanted her daughter to look her best and be her best because, hey, I want you to marry well like I married well. I really think that's what it was. No one ever spoke on it, but that's what it was. When she said that Evelyn's daughter was a build-a-whore, it was very harsh. It was not nice. It was an ugly thing to say. But was it a lie? It wasn't a lie. I am certain that Evelyn also raised her daughter to keep herself in shape, to eat a certain way, to present herself a certain way, to look a certain way, to dress a certain way, to go after a certain type of man who makes a certain amount of money. I think that is what Jackie wanted for her children as well. That's why when she said build a whore, it was like, girl, Jackie, now I know you not. I know you didn't just say that. But to be honest, isn't that what all of them have done? Isn't that what all of them do? They all want to look a certain way, dress a certain way, act a certain way so they can attract a certain type of man to remove them from a certain type of lifestyle. Now, some of them already did well for themselves, but they want more. They want better. They're all doing it. I truly believe Jackie wanted her daughter to marry well, just like she married well. That's really all there was to it. I don't think that she disliked her child because her child was ugly. I think the unhealed trauma that she experienced, struggle, poverty, having to steal to be able to feed yourself and feed your children, I think that's where it came from. She wanted to make sure that, okay, girl, I may not have a whole bunch to give to you, but girl, we're going to make sure you look a certain way so that you can get a certain type of man. I think that's also why she was angry with her daughter having multiple kids and you can't feed them. Having multiple kids and you don't have a great career to take care of those kids. And then you have a man at home. I don't think the boyfriend made a lot of money either. I don't know. I don't remember the story about the boyfriend, but I do remember after that season happened, Jackie expressed herself how she was disappointed with her daughter. She was like, my daughter's pregnant again. She was very, that is her thing. That is what bothers her. Much like Ashley Darby. Ashley Darby got with that old, disgusting ass man because she didn't want to be poor. She didn't want to struggle like she had, as a young girl. She wanted to make sure that she and her kids never had to experience what she experienced as a child. And I think that's the same thing with Jackie. She wanted her daughter to do well. And I cannot ensure that you're smart enough to be a doctor, a lawyer, or anything like that. But one thing I can do is make sure you look a certain way so that you can marry well. And what did she do? She attached herself to a young man who didn't have much to give. Repeating that cycle of poverty and struggle. That is the reason why I think she doesn't care for her daughter, in my opinion. And I don't want to say she doesn't care for her daughter. Let me take that back. I really don't think that she doesn't care about her daughter because she's very triggered the moment you mention that girl's name. I think she does love her daughter. I just think that she is a mother that is unhealed from her own trauma. And she she traumatized her child unfortunately. And she doesn't get a pass for that. That wasn't right what she's done. And if they haven't fixed it to this day, that is really awful. But I think that people like to just say any old thing and y'all give lazy assessments, and I don't like that. Like Evelyn them, oh, this is the daughter that she does like, and this is the daughter that she don't like. That's a lazy assessment. And I think Evelyn, of all of the women on that cast, I think Evelyn understands Jackie the best. But she just doesn't want to understand her, not on camera. But she gets it. One thing I will never shade Evelyn for is, like, they say she go from league to league. No, it's not me on day. That is not my problem, okay? If Evelyn is using her coochie to secure her lifestyle, that's her personal business. I don't care nothing about that, okay? But don't judge nobody for doing what you do. And she does that all the time. That's what I don't like about her. But I think that Evelyn understands exactly where Jackie's coming from. She got with Shanice's father. Shanice's father clearly wasn't a rich man. He didn't do well. Evelyn took her baby and said, I'm going to make sure my child has a good life. And she got with whatever man she could and secured money, a shoe store, an opulent life for her and her child. I can't be mad at that lady for that. So she understands. The difference, though, with Jackie and Evelyn is Jackie found a good man that loved her back, and she was like, I'm not letting go of him. So if I have to leave my children with my mom, that's what I'll do. But I ain't letting go of this man. I don't think Evelyn ever found a man that she loved the way that Jackie loves Doug. I think she's found men that she's had a good time with, but I don't think Evelyn's ever really loved any of those guys. So it's easy for her to judge Jackie because y'all not in the same boat. But yeah, that's pretty much, I think that's all I had to say. I still feel like, yes, if you were a terrible mom or if you did wrong, you have to own up for your, what you've done wrong. But for Chantel to come on this show and talk out of both sides of her mouth, oh, I don't want my mom to have my back. I want her to stay out of my business. But then when you get into a conversation and you don't know what to handle, you don't know how to handle yourself. Now you want your mama to jump in and have your back because that's what a mom is supposed to do. Girl, bye. Her saying, if I get dad on this phone, you already know. You threatening your mama by calling your daddy? She had every right to say, my husband? You gonna call my husband on me? Oh, that's my biological father. That's my biological father. Girl. Yeah, I guess, girl. What is wrong with her? What is wrong with you? For coming on this show and trying to embarrass your mama. All I'm gonna say is, girl, be careful. Be real easy with it. Because let's just say Jackie bows out and says, I'm leaving this show and you stay on. What do you think is gonna happen to you on this show? Girl, they're going to drag you. The same people you ass kissing, they're going to drag you for filth. They're going to make you regret ever signing any contract having to do with Basketball Wives. Like, you think them women respect you? They don't. Hell yeah, if you're willing to come on here and air out your family dirty laundry, they're absolutely going to sit there and engage with you and let you embarrass yourself. They're not doing the same thing. They're not airing out their family laundry. They're not stupid. They're going to let you do that. They're going to let you back yourself and dig a hole for yourself and back yourself in the corner. They absolutely will. And then they'll turn around and throw it in your face when you're not expecting it. Good luck to you, girl, because you're really making a mess of yourself. You really, really are. You think that Evelyn and them respect you? They don't. They're going to go along with it. And then when they realize that they need Jackie again, they will shit on you. Mark my words. But y'all have fun because I'm not watching that show. But I ain't gonna lie. And I'm kind of glad I'm not watching it because this probably would not be good for my health. So yeah. But I had a lot to say. I just had to say my piece on the matter. But please like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for listening.